the 13th annual ARIAs now but a distant hangover for many, many people. One woman who was there is with us now, editor of Australian Rolling Stone. Would you please welcome Elissa Blake to the large desk. Keep it down because very little sleep, I suspect.
2 hours sleep. It's a long, long night, yeah.
So you wound up at what time this morning?
6 a.m.
Who was with you?
Regular. Well, I mean, all the record companies are still out there, and I was at work by 11 phoning them saying, what are you doing? And they're not there, No one's in till 2 o'clock, so...
Some have to work, yeah.
Last night, one of the members of Powderfinger who loaned me the shirt, by the way, they had a go at Harry Connick Jr., but I missed the Harry Connick Jr. thing. What did Harry Connick Jr. say?
Well, it was a talk of the night because people were very defensive that Harry Connick sledged Tim Rogers.
But he didn't. All he did was, he said, is this the thing, when he walked off stage, when Tim Rogers, because he was doing that monkey hairdo that he does sometimes, and then when he walked off stage, is this the thing, Harry Connick Jr. said, and, oh, Tim Rogers, when you're through with the comb, can I borrow it, right?
Yeah.
And then when Powderfinger Coxie or whatever, the drummer, what a surprise. And then it wasn't for that he got stuck into him. It's bizarre.
Yeah, but look, people are very sensitive about international artists coming to the ARIAs, and we're thinking, why do we even need them there at all?
That's not,
And so you've got something like Harry Connick, he doesn't do anything, he gets up, he makes a nasty remark. I don't know, why was he there?
I got a totally different version. I heard that Harry Connick straight into East Timor.
It was different.
I think I had the wrong map.
Why? What? Fair point.
Yes,
Why do we still have this insistence that we're not good enough there?
We've got our own mediocre people that we can get here.
Yeah. Well, the other internet, I mean, there was the Tea Party was there, and they got up and gave an award, but they didn't play. I mean, it's been in previous years. You've had bands do a number, and people want to see a big international act. But I mean, last night it was good because they were mostly Australian bands, and they did really well. And I don't know, I just thought no one was ready for a smart-ass remark, and everyone was talking about it afterwards, like, what would he do that for?
Yeah.
But can I put to you that the prime role of all award shows is that they're promotional. I mean, the Logies was invented as promotion, the Academy Awards was invented as promotion of film. So in a way, they started from fairly commercial instincts.
Yeah.
And so if bringing Harry Connick Jr. out makes it a viable commercial.
But I don't think it really does. I think if it was someone huge, people wouldn't. Harry Connick Jr. is sort of a bit off the mark, Very odd choice.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I think it's for TV as well to make people watch the show, so you can say Harry Connick and Garbage and Alanis Morissette or...
Who didn't show? Where was she?
Lame excuse, no excuses. No, she's tired. Shirley from Garbage tired as well. They're all tired.
That was Glenn last week on the panel, tired.
What is it about the rock and roll? You've travelled the world with various bands, big rock stars. Do you walk away from any of them going, geez, I'm impressed with all that?
From their performance or their lifestyle?
just from seeing them
As people.
Yeah, I do sometimes. Yeah, I do.
For instance?
Well, major international local... Well, I mean, a band like The Living Ends last night got up and won 2 awards. And
they were happy, though, too. They were wrapped, and that is good to see.
And, I mean, they're out there trying to get their music to the world. They're doing 600 shows a year, and they're still, really grounded, down-to-earth, regular guys. And they're so kind of anti-rock star these days. Like, it's important for Australian bands. They're saying, we don't want to be rock, and it's not the Aussie bands getting up wearing their sunglasses, are they?
Yeah.
It's
not the sunglasses that worry me. I reckon the word entourage. You just see people. People are surrounded by people, and it keeps reminding me of Elvis. It's going, funny Elvis, that's funny, and that just and it doesn't matter what they say, what they do. I mean, half of those speeches were just they were just like sound like me when I talk on the panel. Just make no sense. But you just at the end of it, you could just imagine all their friends going, that what you said, that when you said bullshit, it was fantastic, and you're going, no, what isn't someone?
But see, it's fascinating. See, we're all talking about it now because rock and roll is like the last bastion, I think, where people have got a bit of edge or something.
What fascinated you about, did you naturally come into rock and roll, or how did it evolve that you started working with?
It has embarrassing origins, I have to say.
Please.
You were part of an entourage.
No. My 3 older brothers were in a punk band in Brisbane.
Right.
So I was 10 and they were 17, 19 and 23. So they're in a band called The Pits, and they were, The Pits, and they would be rehearsing in my parents' lounge room, and I'm looking at them, I'm 10 years old, they've got green mohawks, and I'm thinking, oh my God, that's special, that's something, and they're writing songs about how cool it is to be hanging by the bus stop, really anarchic kind of songs. And their biggest claim to fame was that Tex Perkins, before he was in Cruel Sea, was in a band called Tex Deadly and the Dum Dums, and they supported my brother's band, and they're like, that's very special.
That's big.
So, you take that with you through life, and you think, what am I going to do? I'm going to hang around bands, I'm going to write about them, I'm going to do stuff. So,
But before you started hanging around with bands and doing the Rolling Stone thing, you were a censor, one of Australia's
I was.
member of the, what do they call it, the Board of Literature and...
You watch
Office
German...
of Film and Literature
You
Classification.
watch porno then, really?
I watch porno all day.
I don't think porno needs category. You know that it's pretty well known as if it says, fisting up your...
Glockenspiel.
So it doesn't have movements like the German or
I think
Can you show Elissa or me where our glockenspiel?
I want to ask you, so what
Glockenspiel
like you're literally sitting in a darkened cinema?
Okay, you're getting to work, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. You get a cup of tea, you get a packet of Tim Tams. I'm serious. And you're sitting at a kind of long table, 8:30, you've got the German porno video coming on.
that's the same as me.
Except for the Tim Tams.
and then do you sit there with a judge?
You've got a clipboard.
Yeah.
You've got a clipboard and little lights, and what you're looking for is you're trying to decide, is this film R-rated, X-rated, or totally banned?
Right.
So you've got to decide what this is going on. And so if it's R-rated, they're simulating sex. They're not really doing it. They're just, almost doing it. But you've got to look really closely, and sometimes you're hitting the pause button just in case they're doing it too closely
sneakily.
together. Yeah.
So do you go, that's fine, that's right, stop there, sunshine.
Yeah,
right.
rewind. Yeah, you do. And
And does the boss come in? How's it going? Oh, I'm just doing the okay, carry on.
yeah. And then X-rated is if they're actually, they're really doing it, and totally banned if they're bringing the donkey on. Or
Right.
doing
yes.
something like,
But do you have to watch every frame? Can you fast forward it?
No. And it's even got a little clock, so you're saying at 10 minutes, 20 seconds, the donkey came on.
Right.
And, so you have to...
And then you
watch
could
everything.
give a list saying, if you want an R classification, you have to remove
The
the
donkey.
donkey
Yeah.
and the glockenspiel.
Yes.
And by the way, Tom, I've got that tape for you.
Speaking of donkeys, what happened last night?
What?
Were there any wild
Donkey
antics?
action. There was some wild antics.
I knew there would be.
Please.
I can't reveal any names because that would
Give
just
us
be
broad
too...
hints.
Okay, broad hints. Well, the most salacious thing I heard, all the action's at the Siebel Townhouse. This is rock and roll
Afterwards?
central.
Yeah.
After the after parties, after like 4 a.m. after. We're talking aging legendary Oz rocker up in a hotel room.
Sunglasses?
May or may not have been
May or may not, yeah,
sunglasses. I'm unclear about that.
I'm thinking Jimmy Little, but
Keep going. Stop.
Don't speak.
And then we're talking unspeakable acts of debauchery going on in this room, right?
Oh.
And then young, innocent Melbourne band, Taxi Ride,
Oh, no.
this new artist
Yeah.
alongside us, innocently walking down the corridor, walking into this room, shocked they were. They were shocked.
And everybody.
And you were there with a clipboard and a stopwatch going, stop there, sunshine. On that salacious note, we'll do a quick plug. Rolling Stone, latest edition out
Yes,
now. You're on
okay.
tour with the Living End.
Living End.
In England.
Yes.
Thank you for the gospel. We'll get some more during the commercial break, the real stuff.
Okay.
Would you please thank Elissa Blake for dropping by
Thank you.
this evening. Tell us all the stuff from the RS. We'll be back with Laurie Zion right after this.